Hi, this is Mrs. Miles recording another higher level GCSE maths question. This one again is from an Edexcel paper. In fact, you've got 3 questions the price of 1, so feel free to skip through if you can only bear to hear 1 question. Chosen this one here and here, especially for Courtney. Courtney, baby, watching. Okay, now if you're doing this topic by topic, the first bit here is you've got some stuff on simplifying algebraic fractions. Fractions uses lots of different skills. I'm going to do it one particular way, but obviously there are alternatives. This is a 3-mark question up here, and then we've got simplifying basically doing calculations with algebraic fractions, and then down here you've got writing a recurring decimal as a fraction. So I'll go through them one at a time. But basically, when you've got to simplify a fraction, and in the exam, when you forget what to do, think about, right, okay, what does my teacher normally get me to do with a quadratic, which is what that is there? And the answer should be, most of the time, tell me to factorise. So factorise in, brackets in. So this one here is a quadratic. Now we can factorise some quadratics with 1 brackets, but the way that we'll know is we'll look at whether each term's got something in common. So this has got an x in it, this has got an x in it, but this hasn't. So that tells you you're going to need 2 brackets, okay? Now, these 2 brackets got to multiply together. There's a hidden multiply there to give you that top bit there. So that line there is just for that bit of the fraction. So I need an x there and an x there, because x times x will give you x squared. Now to decide what goes into the bracket, I always say to my classes, whatever sign that is there, copy it. So that's a plus that goes there. Order in the brackets actually doesn't matter as long as the numbers go in the right place. So what I need is 2 numbers that add to give the number in front of the x, including the sign, and that multiply to give the number at the end, the constant, which is -4. Now, a lot of people can get confused. Is it add there and multiply there, or is it the other way around? So I say A for add, M for multiply, AM. In the morning, what time is it? 9 AM, not MA. So AM. So I need 2 numbers that add to make 3 and that times together to make -4. Now that means that this sign here, these 2 signs have got to times together to give you a negative. That means that that's got to be a negative there, because a plus times a minus gives you a minus. So I've dealt with the signs. So now going back to this point, I need 2 numbers that add together to make 3 and multiply together to give you -4. One's going to be a plus, one's going to be a minus. So if you're in any doubt, start with all your factor pairs of 4. Now I know it says -4, but we've dealt with the signs, so we can put them in the right place in a minute. So 1 times 4 will give you the 4, and then you can arrange 1 and 4 to give you 3. And the answer to that would be 4 take 1. So 4 take 1 gives you the 3, and 4 lots of -1 give you -4. So in here, because the minus I put it there, the 1's got to go there because -1. And the 4's got to go there. And if you don't believe me that that's right, then if you expand the brackets, you get x squared, take 1x, add 4x, so that's 3x, and then -4, so you get that. Now the one down at the bottom is a bit of a trickier customer. Now, I do this a slightly different way. I can't take the credit for this. My very good friend and colleague Anna taught me this one. So, the reason this one's more difficult is because the number in front of the x squared coefficient is not 1. So what you're going to need in that bracket, if you put an x there and an x there, it's not going to give you 2x squared. Some people do it by trial and error. What I do is I take these 2 numbers here and I times them together. So 2 lots of +3 is +6. Now, the reason I've done that is now, instead of finding 2 numbers that times together to give this, because of this 2 here, I need 2 numbers that times together to give you 6. Okay, but also add together to give you -5. So again, I go through my fraction pairs and I try. Most people go, 3 and 2. 3 and 2, miss. Okay, so I say to them, okay, 3 times 2, does that make 6? And they go, yep. And I say, 3 add 2, does it give you -5? And they go, no. But pay attention. They're either going to have to be 2 positives or 2 negatives because they times together to make a positive. And actually, it's -3. Take away another 2 will give you -5, and if you times these together you get the 6 that you want. Now say to yourself, was that fun? Because people always forget what to do next. You go, no, it wasn't fun. No, it wasn't. It's for a reason. So what we do now is we rewrite this middle bit using this bit here. So instead of minus 5x, we write minus 3x minus 2x, and then this bit on the end stays the same. So the bit at the front is the same, the bit at the end is the same, and instead of minus 5x, we take 3x, take 2x. Now remember, when you get stuck now, think, what was the point of this? All right, okay, yeah, I'm factorising. So put a dotted line down there. Now you've got 4 parts. You separate each bit differently, separately. So what's this side got in common? Well, it's got no number in common apart from 1. So an x comes out. Now to make this bracket equal to that, I need a 2 there to give me the 2x, but I need 2x squared, so I need another x in there. And then how many lots of x make negative 3x? So it's negative 3. So 2x squared from there and minus 3x from there. Now whatever that bracket is, that goes there. And now I've got to put something in here so that when I times these together I get that, and when I times these together I get that. And what I need is a minus 1, because minus 1 times 2x is minus 2x, and minus 1 times minus 3 is positive 3. So I put these two bits of the bracket together, so I know that one of the brackets is minus 3, and I know I've got an x there and a minus 1 there, so they become the other bits of the bracket. Now I'm not saying that that is the only way of doing it, I'm just doing it the way that I've taught you guys before, if I have taught you before, just so you're not thinking, what's going on? But you can do it by trial and error if you like. Now the whole point of this is we're trying to simplify this fraction. You're probably thinking, hang on a second, that looks a lot simpler to that from where I'm standing. But the beauty of it is, just like we can simplify, this is an aside by the way, 10 over 20, because we can divide the top by 10 divide the bottom by 10. Some people do that, cancel out. You can do the same with this fraction. We've got that on the top, that on the bottom, so they cancel out. So I'm left with that, which is my simplified fraction. Okay. Now I know it seems a lot of work, and it is. This one here is worth 3 marks. What makes it more difficult is this 2 here. If it was just like a 1x squared, then it would only be worth 2 marks, but that is your simplified fraction. You don't do any more with it. Some people say, well, hang on, does it matter that they're not one on top of the other? It doesn't matter, because these are multiplied together, so I could have put x minus 1, x plus 4 that side, so they would be on top of one another. So provided you've got the same top and bottom, it will cancel. If you're thinking, well, I've got nothing same top and bottom, it's always worth going back and checking you've done these bits right. Okay, but I hope that helps. What I'm going to do, because my little phone won't handle one massive video, I'm going to go back and do the next question, upload it separately. So I'll be back in a second.